Hello, in this tutorial, you will be able to learn how to create an assignment activity in Moodle. From your course page, click the Actions menu and click Turn Editing on. Choose the section where you'd like to put the activity assignment. Then, click Add an activity or resource. Then the Add an activity or resource window will be displayed. Select Assignment and then click the Add button. And now, the assignment activity setting will be displayed. Supply the name of the assignment. And then the description or your instruction to your students. You may put here the question itself for your assignment. You may click Expand All in order for you to see all the settings right away. You don't need to click the section in order for you to see the settings. In the Availability section, you will be allowed to select the date where your students can start their submission. So here in Allow Submissions From, they can choose the date, or the teacher can use the date here, and then its due date and the cutoff date. If you want to prevent the students from submission beyond the due date, you may enable the cutoff date and then set it based on your desired date. So if you think the due date will be the cutoff date as well, then set it the same date with the due date. Remind me to grade by. So this means that the professor or the teacher will be reminded when to grade the students. Under the submission settings, there is a submission type here, online text or file submissions. So I will check also the online submissions or online text. If you check the online text option, the word limit setting will be displayed. And if you want to set the word limit, let's say for example, up to 500 words only. So this means that the students will see that the 500 word limit for their assignment. So if it implements the online text. Next, the maximum number of files or uploaded files. So by default it's 20. You can actually limit it. For maximum submission size, what size or file capacity would you like your students to submit? So you can choose from here. And what are the accepted file types? If you want to standardize the file submission of your students, you can choose here the accepted file types. For example, if you just accept PDF only, then you can put here .pdf. Or you can choose or click the choose button here in order for you to see all the files that can be submitted by your students. So you can check the PDF, you can also check the Word document if you want, and then you may click the Save Changes button. So as you notice here, .pdf, .docx are already set. For the feedback types selection or options here. So the one who gives feedback are the teachers. So here are the selection or options for the teachers to give feedback. The teacher can give feedback through comment. So you need to click or check the feedback comments. They can also feedback or give feedback through annotating a PDF. And Teacher can also give feedback on offline grading worksheet. So this means that the teachers can download all the assignment submissions of the students as well as the spreadsheet. And from the spreadsheet, once they downloaded it, they will be able to provide feedback. And once they get online again, they can upload the grading worksheet in order to update on the system. And then there's also feedback files. Well, if your feedback has or consists of some tutorials for your students, then you can check the feedback files here. You can also give feedback by inline comment. So you can set this to yes. This means that you can give feedback or the teacher can give feedback in line with the online text submission of the students. So you will see that later, especially when your students had already submitted on your assignment. So it is advisable that once you have created your assignment, you ask your students or the participants of your course to answer your assignment. Next is submission settings. Require students to click the submit button. So you can just click yes or no. So there's also a help question here by clicking the question mark. So it says that if enabled, students will have to click a submit button to declare their submission as final. This allows students to keep a draft version of the submission on the system. If this setting is changed from no to yes after students have already submitted, those submissions will be regarded as final. Yeah. So if you set this to yes, this means that students are allowed to have a draft submission. And then once they click the button submit, that means it's their final submission of their assignment. Next, require that students accept the submission statement. So you can just click yes also if this just only there's only a statement that's saying that the student acknowledge the source where they got their answer to your assignment. So they just have to acknowledge it and check the checkbox. Attempts reopened, so never. We can set it to what is default. So this means that, for example, the student have submitted their assignment already, and if you set this manually or automatically until pass, this means that they can still revise their submissions. For group settings, students submit in group, so you can set it to no or yes depending on the type of the assignment that you are giving to your student. So let's just set the default. Next, the notification sections. Notify graders about submissions. By default, it's no. Notify graders about late submission, no. Default setting for notify students is yes. So if you want to, you as a teacher, if you want to be notified about their submission and about the late submissions, imagine if you have many participants in your course, you will be receiving messages, email messages. So it's something, you know, it, you will receive many messages from your inbox. So grade, we have here the point scale or none. So let's just choose the default maximum grade is 100. Grading method, we'll just choose first the simple direct grading, but there's other options, marking guide and rubric. Grade category, uncategorized, grade to pass. I will not set it for now, but you can set it So grade to pass depending on your on the scoring that you have on your assignment. So for the blind marking, the teacher can mark their students' assignment without seeing their names. It only represents, or the submission only represents something like an ID. So during the time that the teacher is finished evaluating the students' assignments, they can reveal, or the teacher can reveal, the identification of the student. Hide grade identity from students. Let's see. Hides the identity of any user who grades an assignment submission, so students can see who marked their work. Well, I think well, it depends, but for me as a teacher, it's not necessary because they know that I am the teacher, and I am the one who is evaluating them. Then use marking flow. So we'll just set the default. Restrict access. If you want to, we will discuss later on another topic about the restrict access, and more discussion about activity completion. So, but if you want this to be included in the progress of your student, you can click the, or select from here, options from here. Students can manually mark the activity as completed or show activity as complete when conditions are met. So what are those conditions? You can require view, you can also require grade. And student must submit to this activity to complete it. Then after that, let's click save and return to course. So we now have the assignment, and if you click on this, you will be able to see, or the students will also be able to see the question, and they can add submission. So they will have the add submission button. If I switch my role to student, so this will be their view. How Moodle Empower. Right. So it only shows that. But once the student have submitted, or your participant has submitted, you will see, you may just click view all submissions here. Sorry, no, because I am a student. I'll switch my role. So just click on the view all submissions. You can also see on the upper right side the submissions of yours, the number of those who submitted on your assignment. So that's all, and I hope you can apply the assignment activity, and I hope that it will be helpful for your course. Thank you.